Hello friends, I am Prashant Kumar. Welcome to my YouTube channel Sociocratic. So we are discussing about 10th and social science today, geography, segment 7th lesson, Indian land resources. Land is very precious. We are living on this land, on this earth. So on this earth, different types of lands are there. In India, which are the different patterns of land and how we use it, land use patterns, etc. Let us discuss about that today. Let us discuss about Indian land resources. Yeah, in that first one, land use pattern of India. The distribution of land for different uses such as forestry, cultivation, pastures, etc. is called land use or land utilization. So we can see different types of lands here, especially some areas covered with forest. Some we are using for cultivation. Some pasture lands are grazing lands are there. So these different types are called as land use or land utilization. For what purpose we are using the land depending upon that. And this det land use is determined by some factors. Which are the factors determined land use? Relief feature. The level land, is it level land, a slope area, a steep area, valley, so like that. Relief features. Climate also decides. Soil, what type of soil it is. Population density, depending upon the population density, how we use the land. If density of population is more, we are using that land for residential areas, factories, etc. If it is less cultivation land or some forest areas like that. Socio-economic factors also comes here and technical factor also comes here. So all these factors which determine the land use. Okay, yeah. Next we have to discuss about types of land use pattern. The land use pattern can be classified into 7 categories. So they are net area zone, forest area, land not available for cultivation, fallow land, cultivable waste, permanent pastures and other grazing lands, land under miscellaneous uses. Net area zone. So it includes the land that can be used to cultivate crops. This net area zone. So nearly 42.42% of the land area comes under this one. And so this net area zone is not evenly distributed. It is highest proportion in Punjab, Haryana, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh and Kerala. It is least in the northeastern states because covered with forest there, hilly region, that's why, and medium in other states. Forest area, 22.8% of the land covered by forest. And this forest area is high in Andaman and Nicobar Islands and northeastern states as I told earlier. And it is least in Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan and Gujarat. Yes. And land not available for cultivation. So actually it is possible to cultivate but not available because of roads, railways, canals, mountains, human settlements and sandy waste. We can use this land but we are using that land for road, railway, etc. That's why it is a non-agricultural purpose we are using that land. And it is largely found in Assam, Manipur and Sikkim and less in Goa, Kerala, Odisha and Maharashtra. Okay, then fallow land. Fallow land which is not used for cultivation, the land which is not used for cultivation, living simply. And it is 8.2% it covers. And it is largely found in Mizoram, Tamil Nadu, Meghalaya. and less in Tripura, Puducherry, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Their fallow lands are less. Cultivable waste and the land which is not taken up for cultivation due to certain soil deficiency. Because of deficiency in the soil, this land is not used, and this is found more in Meghalaya, Goa, Nagaland and Rajasthan. And this accounts 4.3% of reported area. Yes, and permanent pastures and other grazing lands, pasture lands. 3.4% of the area comes under this one, and the more is largely found in Himachal Pradesh, Gujarat, and Madhya Pradesh. Yeah, and land under miscellaneous uses. So only 1.1%. It's miscellaneous means gardens, orchards, or plantations. Yeah, that one. And it is found largely in Assam, Nagaland, Meghalaya, Kerala, Karnataka, and Himachal Pradesh. Yeah. So these are the different types of land use pattern. Okay. Next we have discussed about agriculture. What is agriculture? And what are the types, what are the importance, etc. we have discussed. First, what is agriculture? Tilling of the soil for raising food crops and raw materials needed by the human beings. Tilling of the soil to raise the food crops for the consumption and raw materials for the industries, for agro-based industries. So that is agriculture. Agriculture is an art of growing crops. Yes. Why agriculture is important? India is an agriculture country. Nearly 65% of Indians depends on agriculture. And economic progress depends on the progress of agriculture because the large income comes from that one, and it is very important one. And it is the main source of livelihood in India. And also, it's the main source of food for us and fodder for animals. And the source of national income and revenue. It supports tertiary sectors like trade, transport, banking and insurance. It is a primary sector actually, agriculture. It supports not only the tertiary sector, secondary sector also by providing raw materials to the agro-based industries. And for the trade, transport, banking, insurance also it will help. So tertiary sector also getting help. So because of all these, agriculture is very important one. And now we have to discuss about different types of agriculture. Types of agriculture. Here, agriculture is divided into subsistence farming, intensive farming, commercial farming, mixed farming, plantation farming, dry farming, humid farming, and irrigation farming. So these are 8 types of agriculture. First one, subsistence farming. What is subsistence farming? It is a type of farming in which the production of crops consumed almost by the farmers and his family, and less portion is for sale. And the primitive method of cultivation, and it is widely practiced in northeastern states, Odisha and Madhya Pradesh. And this subsistence farming is of 2 types. One, shifting cultivation, and a sedentary cultivation. Shifting cultivation or shifting farming. So here is a very old method of cultivation, and this one we can see mainly in Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Madhya Pradesh, Kerala and Odisha. And they clear one part of the forest and they burn that land, that area, and prepare that land for cultivation without using any chemical fertilizer or extra fertilizers. Whatever the fertility in the soil, they use that to grow the crop. After 2 or 3 years, the fertility of the soil will reduce, and they shift that cultivating area from that place to another place, and they clear another part of the forest, and they prepare the land for cultivation, and they grow crops for another 2-3 years, And then again, after 2-3 years, when the fertility decreases, they clear another part of the forest. Like that, go on shifting the agriculture. So the shifting cultivation. By that, this forest will deplete. And commonly, it is practiced by the tribals in the forest areas. And this shifting cultivation is called Jhuming in Assam, Ponama in Kerala, and Podu in Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. Yeah. So these are different names, important. And next, sedentary farming. Another type is sedentary farming. And it is cultivation of land at a fixed location instead of shifting. So that is sedentary cultivation. But here again, the crop, whatever it comes, they use for their own family. So these are the two types of subsistence farming. Next, intensive farming. And here, the intensive farming require large amount of capital and labor. By using large amount of capital and labor are applied per unit of land and getting more crop. Here actually what they do intensive farming, 2 or more crops they grow to get maximum production in a small area. 2 or more crops are grown in the same land to get more production. That is intensive farming. And it is common in the fertile and irrigated areas, not in other areas. It is not possible. So it is intensive farming. Commercial farming. Crops are grown for the market purpose, for the market, for the sale. This type of farming, commonly we can see cash crops or commercial crops, what we say. Yeah, and using the small amount of labor, machinery, and scientific methods of cultivation they use, and maximum profit they want to get. That is commercial farming. Mixed farming. And commonly, the students will confuse between intensive farming and mixed farming. Intensive farming, commonly they will ask the question, raising 2 or more crops in the same land, in a small land, is called intensive farming actually. That is not mixed farming. 2 or 3 crop means immediately mixed farming, someone will think. So mixed farming, what is mixed farming? Agriculture involving the cultivation of crops and livestock rearing is called mixed farming. Together with the cultivation of crops, livestock rearing is called mixed farming. And here they can manage, if the agriculture got failure, then they can manage their income with other jobs or livestock rearing. There they will get. So nowadays it is becoming popular. Mixed farming become popular. Next, plantation farming. Cultivation of single crop on a large estate for the market. Here mainly coffee, rubber, tea, etc. Comes under plantation farming. Dry farming. Dry farming means a farming carried on the area which receives scanty rainfall or very less rainfall, where irrigation is either absent or limited. It's called dry farming. The drip irrigation, etc. they will use. Yeah, and commonly it is practiced in peninsular India and western Rajasthan. Okay, yeah. So that is dry farming. Humid farming. And the crops are grown or cultivation of crop in the area which receives sufficient rainfall. And they grow the crop without the help of irrigation. Commonly in the west coast we can see this. Western coast of India which is getting sufficient rainfall, that's why. It is humid farming. Irrigation farming. The name itself says that crops are grown with the help of irrigation. It is irrigation farming. The irrigation necessary, why? The rainfall is seasonal, uncertain and insufficient. That areas they use irrigation. So these are the different types of farming. Okay. Next we have to discuss about crop season. There are 3 crop seasons are there. Which are the first one, the Kharif crop season, second one, Rabi crop season, and Zaid crop season. Kharif crop. crops grown during the rainy season or crops grown on set of monsoon. When monsoon rainfall starts, at that time crops will be grown. That is Kharif crop. In this season, rice, jowar, ragi, cotton, groundnut, tobacco, etc. they will grow. Yes, and here sowing takes place in the month of June or July, and they harvest later. After 3 months, they will harvest commonly. So that is a Kharif crop. Yeah. Next, Rabi crop. Post monsoon season. After the monsoon, this season starts. Here, wheat, barley, gram, and linseed, the main crops grown in the Rabi season. And here, October, November, after the monsoon season, October, November, they start to sow the seeds. And commonly, harvest will take place in the month of February, March. Yeah. So this is Rabi. And Zaid crop season between Kharif and Rabi or summer's crop season. Here in your textbook it is given like this: crop season between Kharif and Rabi. Actually, Kharif season is monsoon, onset of monsoon during the early rainy season. Rabi, post monsoon, after the monsoon. Between the onset of monsoon and after the monsoon, summer season will not come. But for the examination purpose, we have to write like this. Actually, it is between Rabi and Kharif season. Between Rabi and Kharif, summer season comes. Okay. And here the main crop: watermelon, cucumber, oilseeds, pulses, and vegetables. Okay. That is Zaid crop season. Okay. So this is these are the main crop seasons. Next, cropping pattern. What is cropping pattern? The proportion of an area under different crops at a given time is called cropping pattern. An area, a certain area under different crops at a given time, it is cropping pattern. Which factors are responsible for the cropping pattern? Relief feature again: soil, climate, size of the farm, how much big it is depending upon that, water supply, farmers' income also important one, their capital important, they have to invest money, and technology also important, modern technology very important. So these are the factors responsible for the cropping pattern. Next, major crops. Here, crops are divided into food crops and commercial crops. Food crops, commercial crops, fiber crops, beverage crops, like the different types. First of all, let us discuss about the food crops. In the food crops, mainly two food crops we have to discuss. It is rice and wheat. Rice. See here, commonly the question comes in the exam. That is, explain the climate and soil required for the rice. So this much point you have to cover. Rice is a Kharif crop which require 18 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius temperature and 100 to 200 centimeters of rainfall. And it is possible to grow. It is very commonly grown in the areas having alluvial soil and clayey loam soil. Yeah, and it is found in West Bengal. West Bengal is the largest area under, highest crop coming in West Bengal, rice. But rice bowl of India, Andhra Pradesh. Yes, highest or largest in West Bengal, and rice bowl, Andhra Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Odisha, and Karnataka, the main regions growing rice. Wheat is a Rabi crop which require 10 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius temperature, 50 to 70 centimeters of rainfall. Rainfall is required less. But here for the rice, standing water, stagnant water, very important one. Standing water necessary. But this one not necessary. Other crops don't need that one. And heavy loam and black soil. Let's say black cotton soil. So that one required to wheat. And Uttar Pradesh is the largest producer of wheat, and wheat granary of India is Punjab. Uttar Pradesh is the largest producer and Punjab is the wheat granary. Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and North Karnataka, these areas they grow wheat. So this is about food crops. Next we have to discuss about commercial crops. Commercial crops here, many are there: sugarcane, tobacco, cotton, tea, etc. In that first, let us discuss about sugarcane, which require 21 degrees Celsius to 26 degrees Celsius temperature, 100 to 150 centimeters of rainfall, and alluvial and loamy soil. And Uttar Pradesh is the largest producer of this sugarcane. Actually, South Indian sugarcane is more sugar content, is having more sugar content. But Uttar Pradesh is the largest producer. Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Gujarat, and Andhra Pradesh. Tobacco, which require 21 degrees Celsius to 23 degrees Celsius temperature and 50 to 100 centimeters of rainfall. Sandy, loamy soil required for this tobacco. And Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, UP, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, and Bihar, they produce tobacco. Next, we have discussed about the fiber crop. Cotton and jute are called as fiber crops. In that cotton we have discussed, which require 21 degrees Celsius to 24 degrees Celsius temperature, 50 to 100 centimeters of rainfall, and black soil is required. That's why it's called as a black cotton soil. Actually, in India, we are growing more short staple cotton. Long staple cotton we are importing from other countries. Recently in Punjab, etc., they are growing this long staple cotton, which is very important one. Gujarat, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu grow cotton. And tea. Now, after fiber crop, we have discussed about beverage crops. Beverage crops, coffee and tea. Tea, 21 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius temperature and 150 centimeters to 250 centimeters of rainfall, and deep and fertile with humus required for the tea. Assam is very famous for tea. Assam tea, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala, they grow tea. Actually, tea and coffee difference, just observe here. Tea don't need the shade of the tree. Coffee requires the shade of the tree. That is the difference. Okay, tea estate and coffee estate you observe. That's why. Next, we have to discuss about horticulture. Yeah. The intensive cultivation of fruit, vegetables, flower, medicinal plants and aromatic plants are called as horticulture, which makes agriculture more profitable through efficient land use, optimum utilization of natural resources, and generating skilled employment for the rural masses. Many farmers, if you observe nowadays, those who suffer from setback of these other crops, whatever they grow, immediately they switch on to this horticulture. They grow the vegetables, the flowers, the medicinal plants, etc. They got more profit, and which gives chance employment opportunity for skilled laborers, and they utilize the natural resources also, enhance exports and provide nutritional security. So that plants, etc., that vegetables, we export that one. Foreign exchange possible. India is second largest producer of fruits. 11% we grow here, and vegetables 7%. Okay, this is in India stands in that one, second largest producer in the world. Yeah, in the fruits and vegetables. Andhra Pradesh, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh are the main states which are famous in horticulture. Okay, floriculture, cultivation of flowers for commercial purpose. So that is floriculture. Generate income and provide employment opportunities for farmers and women. It looks very nice, and they get more profit also on this one. Add to the export for foreign exchange, and mainly jasmine, marigold, rose, crossandra, aster, and orchids. So this is very carnation flowers on for bouquets, etc. They use this one, and gladiolus. carnation, anthurium, lilies, etc. And in India, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Punjab, Haryana, and West Bengal famous for floriculture. So this is about floriculture. And this is about agriculture and land, Indian land resources, how we use the land resource, about that. I hope you understood. Let us use the land properly, whatever the gods gift land, that one let us use, and let us improve ourselves, and let us give this land for the future with good condition. Thank you very much.